Okay. Hello. Wow, that's loud. Hello, everyone. I am going to be talking very quickly about home automation, very, very quickly indeed. That didn't work. Oh, okay. All right, I'll do that. So home automation, I first got into home automation a couple of years ago, and currently my home automation dashboard looks like this. I'm using a product called Home Assistant. Home Assistant runs very nicely on a Raspberry Pi, which sits in my rack at home, connects into my network, and then helps me to integrate a whole bunch of disparate home automation products from a bunch of different providers. So for example, I've got lights from LifeX, I've got cameras from Ubiquiti, I've got a camera that is a $55 piece of junk from Kmart. I have the Apple TV and remote, the Samsung TV, and then I've got some IKEA trad-free stuff as well. What's really lovely about this is it allows me to then pull that stuff into HomeKit and tell Siri to turn lights on and off, and also use Siri automations as I leave the house to automatically arm the alarm, which is also built into I have managed to take that screenshot as I got an alert. Excellent. So, as my husband sent me a text, so that's great. This is just a screenshot of my alarm setup. So I've got some cheap Chinese Xiaomi sensors, both with reed switch sensors and also what are they called? Motion sensors. They just feed in and they tell me a state, whether they're clear or whether there's detection on them, or whether they're closed or open. And then I can feed that into the alarm panel that's built into Home Assistant. Home Assistant has a bunch of different integrations. There's a lot of really good resources also for Home Assistant. It's really cool. I love it. One of the best things that I love about it is that all of our definitions can be written in YAML. For those who were in my automation talk yesterday, I spoke a lot about how much I prefer Ansible over Puppet because of the YAML syntax, which is a lot easier for me to read. The screenshot on the right is a bunch of the different automations that I have, and then on the left we've got the actual automations YAML file, or at least a portion of it, that tells me some stuff about how to define those. So as an example, when the alarm gets triggered, we play a ringtone on the Xiaomi Acquira gateway, and then flash all of the LifeX lights red repeatedly on, I think it's 1,000 cycles, so that goes for a little while, a cycle every second. I just came up with an arbitrary number when I did that. How am I going for time, Tony? 90 seconds, okay. As I said, there's quite a lot of really good, really useful resources for home automation, especially using Home Assistant. There's homeassistant.io is the main page. As I mentioned, I'm running this on a Raspberry Pi. It's currently a Raspberry Pi B3, and now that the B4 came out, who's excited about the Raspberry Pi 4? Yeah. Dual 4K 60 FPS. Nice. So raspberrypi.org, I've put that link up there. And there's two really, really great YouTube channels as well that, again, as I mentioned yesterday in the automation presentation, I do none of this by myself. I stand on the shoulders of giants. And so these two YouTube channels, Brew and Dr. Z's, those guys have helped me to get through all sorts of really weird and wonderful things. Obviously, if you have any questions about home automation or want to talk to me about home automation, I'm always really, really excited to talk about home automation, in case you can't tell. So yeah, happy to chat to you guys outside of here, and I have 30 seconds left, and I think I'll call that quits. So thank you.